Oh, emotional support demon, where art thou? I need support with my emotions. Wait a second. Oh my god, you were here all along. Thank god, I was just about to buy another 50 of you. I'm gonna do that anyway, and you can too. Oh my god, emotional support demon now out. Link in the description. It's on makeshift for a limited time only. It's so freaking cute. Look at it, so round and I am so happy with how it turned out. Did you know, by the way? Did you know? Are you unsure whether you want one or not? It has toe beans. Look at those. Toe beans! Well, speaking of Click being hysterical, good evening. Ladies, lasses, and lassos, welcome to the Click. You smell astounding today, and don't let anyone else tell you otherwise. They would be a horrible liar. Anyway, today we're gonna do something beautiful. Have you been to job interviews? Oh my god, me neither. and you know the hell that comes into searching for jobs, job interviews, crappy companies, really weird aspects about recruiting, and all the kind of bootlicking that comes with it. Welcome to Recruiting Hell. Enjoy. You know, I think Satan decided that hell wasn't good enough anymore, so he just came to Earth and made companies. There you go. Nice! Hi Tracy. I wanted to let you know in the most respectful way that what you and Terry did this morning was rather rude and unprofessional. This was my second interview here. When I came in, I was told the company had no intention of hiring me. I do not understand the thought process behind it. I would love to take Terry's advice and continue with my education, but that requires money to pay for bills and school. This means I need a decently paying job. After 22 online rejections, I was so excited to have an interview, so maybe I could pursue my goals and make a decent living. You raised my hopes and dashed them quite expertly. Being told that coming in early was a test, while knowing you were not going to hire me was an extra insult. What? You've already decided you're not gonna hire them and you're still playing games? Oh my god. I came in sick, so I think I should get extra points on that test. I also missed the 10 minutes I get to spend with my family every day since they work 13-hour night shift and I work days. I'd like a point on the test for that too. May I ask what you were testing me for, since you had no intention of hiring me? I only write this to you to try and make you understand that this was not a very nice thing to do. I ask you, please do not do this to anyone else in my position. It is not nice to raise someone's hopes just to have an opportunity to patronize them. That's what you did? You think you're making someone a favor? You literally invited them for an interview, getting their hopes up about finally coming to an end of the road of struggle and looking for jobs. And then you say, Uppity, we just came in here to tell you to get good and go back to school. That's encouraging. And still had them jump through the hoops, come like early as a test to be like, are they actually a good employee? We're not gonna hire them anyway, but might as well play the mind games. Are you serious? This absolutely blows my mind. I feel in life there are a few jobs that like attract just raging sadists. This is definitely one of them. Oh god. Nobody. LinkedIn influencers! Yesterday I was walking to an interview. There was a starving dog on the road. I stopped to feed him and missed the interview. The next day I got a call asking to come to the interview. I was surprised, but I went. Then the interviewer came in. Hey, what's the dog? Whoa! You see, never give up. Some days you might just be recruited to be the best boy ever. I'm so happy. I used to have LinkedIn. I think I still do. I deleted the app because it's garbage. It's like an Instagram feed, but everyone tries so hard to be overly professional. It's like, the vibe is weird. Good for finding jobs, not gonna lie. Really good for job listings. Everything else, kinda cringe. Can we make a reality show where we make baby boomers try applying for jobs for the first time in 30 years using their own advice and see how quickly they have a mental breakdown? I feel like this would be such a good concept for a reality show in general, but you just do this with a bunch of groups of people. Here's a bunch of old executives trying to be like entry-level worker Zoomers. Great. Here is a bunch of billionaires that try to take on like an entry-level job. Great. I feel there are so many dynamics in the world, it'll be so entertaining to just do a switcheroo and see how it goes. Oh my god, future TV show ideas, here I come.
We interviewed a 26-year-old candidate yesterday with 15 months of employment gap. Me? Why do you have this gap in your resume? Did your employer lay you off?
Him? No, I quit my job because my father's health wasn't good and he was admitted to the hospital. I had to take care of him, so I relocated to my home city.
What happened to him? Is he alright now?
He passed away a few months ago. I had left the job so I could give all my time and create some good memories during his last days. I have no regrets that I left the job because I have this employment gap.
Without second thought, the panel members decided to select him for the role. I said, you're selected. Congratulations on your new role. Sometimes you just need to listen and understand people, then judge them.
Alright, so wholesome this was.
Give a chance to justify always. Hashtag people, hashtag employment gap.
Employment gap is always personal, and no one should be put in a corner to justify their personal life. Either they are skilled for the job or not, regardless of the gap. Asking this question is not professional and should be illegal. What should also be illegal is posting fairy tales in copy-pasted text. I really hope it's a fairy tale, because otherwise the insinuation is even worse, you know? Someone is sitting here trying desperately to get a job, and the only way to do it is to spill your guts about a family member dying and potentially bringing up all the sadness and emotion that comes with that for these people you have met for the first time for a job. Fam, this is overstepping some boundaries. This is really nasty. What? Recruiter.
We offer a competitive salary.
Employee. Great. How much is it?
Don't worry about that. It is competitive. Anyways, what skills do you have?
Oh, I have amazing skills.
Oh, great. Can you tell me more about them?
Don't worry. They are amazing. Two can play that game. Trust me, bro. Put a salary in the job description. No one should have to take time off work to find out the job they're interviewing for pays significantly less than the one they already have. That's a kick in nuts. I've seen that so many times on subreddits like this. Someone takes time to go to the interview of an exciting offer and they pay 50% less of the current position. Great! I think posting an exact salary isn't even necessary. I think you can post a range and that would do the trick. Like, depending on who you hire, they might have slightly different experience, they might need more time to get up to speed or whatever it might be depending on what role and stuff they had before. But, you know, it's still in the same ballpark. It is the same role. It's just a matter of like a few months to bring them up to speed, essentially. At least the way I see it.
When I received my job offer, I asked if I could get back to them because I had another offer to consider. But in reality, it was so I could get off the phone and squeal because I was so excited. And they called me back 5 minutes later and offered me $5,000 more and a better title to drop the other offer. Oh my god, that is what?
I think this is called like main character syndrome, but like in a good way. It's like you're literally the center of the universe. You just take time off to squeal, there's nothing else, and they're just like, no, we offer you more. Take it now. This is amazing.
Can you explain the gap on your resume?
Can you explain the gap on your staff? Oh, right in the butt. I've never understood that though. Like, fine, if they have 10 years of a gap, you know, you graduate high school and you haven't worked for 10, 15 years, then it might raise a couple of eyebrows. But if you have like a few months or a year in between jobs, if you take time off for family or do something else or, you know, whatever it might be, or you just saved enough money to try to like travel the world or spend time on a passion or whatever it is, that's kind of personal, fam. I've never understood this. It's so overbearing.
You are hired. Salary's $36K.
I was hoping for 50K.
We have coffee on tap and a casual dress code.
That is great, but
foosball tables and treadmill desks.
Please calm down.
Dogs at work happy hours. Free freaking snacks. Millennials love this. Please take the job.
Oof, I felt this in my bone marrow. Oh, yes, indeed. Wasn't there a poll we had in a previous video that was something like, what's the real reason why employees quit? Lack of raise, bad environment, lack of ping pong table. And the answer was always lack of ping pong table. That was the key excuse for anything. Maybe they didn't have enough office snacks. PNG, thank you for the time you have dedicated to follow the selection process, blah, blah, blah. You'll be able to retake the online assessment after 12 months. Wait, so... Wait a second. So if someone applies for a job at your firm and they don't get it, you ban them for 12 months for applying to anything else? You're not the only company in the world. Is this actually a successful strategy? That blows my mind.
Hi, Blope. My apologies for the confusion just now as you arrived for your interview with Blope at 11 AM. I understand you live close just up the road and are looking for a job with full-time hours. Unfortunately, we would not consider employing someone in a full-time capacity that arrives to an interview exactly on time. Maybe arriving a little earlier to future job interviews would show the employer that you are keen. Wishing you all the best with your job search. Kind regards.
I would say showing up on time is probably the correct thing to do because, you know, that's what is literally instructed. At least in my experience when I've shown up early to interviews. Not because I think I have to be there early, but just to have a margin so I don't show up late. I just have to wait anyway, because most people interviewing for this kind of stuff are busy anyway. It's not like interviewing you is the only way to do in their day. And having these kind of weird requirements, like, haha, it was a trick, we said 11, but it was actually 10:55. And if you didn't show up 10:55, well, you must not be excited enough. I would say good riddance. I wouldn't want an employer playing these kind of mind games anyway.
I want to report on Monday, which means I actually wanted it on Friday. Oh my god.
We are short-staffed. Please be patient with the staff that did show up. No one wants to work anymore.
more. Oh, you kind of had me up until the last sentence, you know? It's kind of wholesome in a way. We're understaffed. Please treat the staff with respect. It's not their fault. Stuff is delayed. Yada yada. Good stuff. And then you have the last thing, like, it's everyone else's fault, them damn video game dwellers. Gah! 5. Personal budget. Each candidate at Dave's company sends in their personal budget during the interview process to ensure they can support their family on what we're paying for that position. This is just keywords for we're not paying very well because we have to... Oh no, this is so bad. Oh no. You don't want to hurt someone's family by allowing them to take a position they can't afford. Yeah, because you can afford not having the position if you can't afford it with the position, right? Besides, broke and desperate people do not make good team members. There are so many things in the undertone here, and I don't like any of it. Spousal interview. One of the last steps you should take before a hire is an interview with the candidate's his/her spouse. The spouse will tell you pretty quickly whether the position will really work for the family. Wait a second, what are you looking for? You're looking for someone who has super cheap living standards, so you can, like, in a moral way, get away with not paying them enough? Is that the point here? Is that what you're getting at? That doesn't look very good, fam. Interviewed at Facebook about 10 years ago. Interviewer looked at my resume and said,
"We don't count internships as experience here, so let's just forget all of that."
Me! Those weren't internships. I went to college part-time and worked full-time to pay for it. Dead silence. Oh, this is how you get those, like, we want a 20-year-old with 20 years of experience. You just work 2 things at the same time. Haha, life hacks. A recruiter just contacted me about a role. That role reports to me, where I currently work. The recruiter in the desk next to you tries to recruit yourself for the person you're the boss over. Fam. Forget everything you learned in college. You won't need it here. But I didn't go to college. Well then, you're unqualified for this job. Confused unga bunga? No. The game is rigged. Get this really pricey thing over here. You won't need it, but if you don't have it, you do need it. It's like when, you know, in the movies when they go up to someone and be like, "Hi, we're the LAPD. Are you Steve?" And he's like, "Who's asking?" It's like, oh, if you say that, it's freaking obvious you're Steve. You know, it's like one of those trick answers, you know? Companies, when they hire normal employees, every atom has to be in the right place. Companies, when they hire managers, uppity, good enough, has brain, maybe. How I got a job at Big 4 being in my 20s. Woke up at 5 AM on the day of the interview. Did a cold shower, 30 minutes of cardio, had a solid protein-rich breakfast. Arrived 30 minutes before the interview. Asked my CEO dad to call the senior partner and give me an informal referral. Right habits can change your life. Oh, I love that, but it's so easy, so easy. Oh. I swear to God, there are so many inspirational stories that are like that, though. How I became a millionaire landlord at the age of 25. Number 1, mom bought me 5 houses. Number 2, rent them. Looking for a caterpillar. Must have 5 years of experience as a butterfly and at least a master's degree.
This will be an unpaid position because you get paid in experience. Woo!
You would have an initial call with a recruiter, then the hiring manager followed by a coding challenge. If all goes well at that point, there would be 5 rounds with the team via Zoom. Your thoughts on call with the recruiter, blah blah blah. I appreciate you reaching out, but that's excessive. I wouldn't be interested. Most companies now have a 3- or 4-step interview process that's more respectful of my time. I wish you the best of luck in your recruiting efforts, though. New York Times has an 8-round interview process. But You're making it sound like you're interviewing someone for a lifelong marriage. Not like for this, you know, hopping on an employee. Jesus. Text message from random person. I have a series of questions that I'm going to ask you. Please answer them in detail and to the best of your ability. Who is this? Owner of the company you applied for on Indeed. Bro, I applied to like 200. Gotta be more specific. Hi, owner of the 700 plus carefully selected companies I applied for on Indeed. I would like a little more context if I'm talking to Mark Zuckerberg, Larry Page, or Richard Branson. I guess you aren't Richard. I don't detect a British accent in the text. I don't think I've ever had anything like that happen. Just like a random number texting you because it's the boss of a company you applied to. That's wild, man. That's wild. Why don't you reach out in the same medium as they applied? That is so confusing. Hiring managers. In case you didn't know, you no longer have the luxury of thinking about whether you want to offer a candidate a job or not. I have been in recruiting for 10 plus years and I've seen more interviews, no-shows, candidates ghosting and declined offers than any other time in my recruiting career. Don't wait to make that offer. Don't push back to start dates. Say yes to remote work if you're able to. Respond to that thank you email. Give a candidate your contact info to follow up. Add candidates on LinkedIn. There is no such thing as an employer's market. It is a candidate's market right now, and it is not changing. Make your decision quick before another company is quicker. Sincerely, every recruiter right now. I hope that changes. Like, some of the culture regarding that kind of stuff is just atrocious. I don't get it. It's like these weird little power trips that people have.
It's like, oh, you want something for us? Beg for it!
Yeesh. I am happy the younger generation isn't taking this corporate crap anymore. My single largest mistake in my career was be loyal to companies. Don't make my mistake. If you don't get the raise or promotion you worked hard, find a new job immediately. They have no respect for you. It's really the only way power will learn. Yeah, that's kind of true. It's kind of healthy to think about any relationship in life on what level it's at. Work is typically a very transactional relationship. You show up there, you give them your time and expertise, and they pay you in return. Then of course there's other stuff around it as well. It's amazing if the social stuff around your work is nice as well. If you have fun colleagues, if that kind of stuff happens, but at the end of the day, a company isn't a family member. You know, if push comes to shove and, you know, money is tight or whatever, they will let you go. And I don't think anyone would expect, you know, you to have their back at the other angle. This is the same way I think about brands and stuff I work with nowadays. Would they put their neck out for me if something went wrong? Of course not. If something happened to my channel and I wasn't getting the views, they wouldn't keep paying me just because we're family. That doesn't happen. And you know, it's the other way around too. Make sure that your level of loyalty is on the same level as the other way around. It's a two-way street. If you don't get hired for an unpaid internship, it literally makes no difference. Just show up and start working. What are you gonna do? Pay you? Joke's on them.
I really like your resume. What are your salary expectations?
I offer a variety of plans to meet your needs. Choose the plan that works best for you. Plan, let's see, basic, standard, premium. So we have monthly cost, hours per week, emails per week. Oh my god. Poop breaks. Oh, only one with premium. Damn, just working your bladder and stuff. I like that. Overtime available, personal number available, working with a smile. Oh, that is so good. That is so good. Hi, dear company. I know you're underselling this offer. I might take it on anyway, but I won't be smiling. That's amazing. I love this. Oh, and that is sort of realistic in one way if you think about it. If you really want to be available outside of office hours, you know, have my phone turned on and that kind of stuff, it should cost extra because it's another service that you are offering. You are on constant standby in case something happens. I do like the addition of poop breaks though. That is amazing.
What are your salary expectations? What is the salary range for this role?
Oh, that's beautiful. Good old human interactions. When will companies get the message that people need to see salaries on job adverts to make informed decisions? If we reach 1K likes, we'll put this on a huge billboard in central London. If your salary is so competitive, why don't you tell me what it is? From all job seekers. 16,000 likes. Yeah, there we go. That should do the trick. One of the most valuable things I used to do when I still worked in an office is that I had a few really good friends from university, and we worked in similar fields. Not exactly the same thing, but, you know, same number of years of experience. We graduated at the same time, so, you know, you had a ballpark understanding of what other people made, and we were really transparent with that in our friend group. And I do a similar thing now when I work with YouTube. I share, for example, what sponsorships pay me, and I have other YouTuber friends who share that with me. So we kind of compare it, we make sure we're not getting, you know, stiffed out of some deal or something like that. So it's good to have a frame of reference. It doesn't mean that you have to tell the entire world necessarily what you make, because that can be uncomfortable or bring some weird attention, but at least have a frame of reference for yourself with people that you trust and people that you consider peers is incredibly valuable. It really puts you on equal footing with the other party, because they know what they're paying everyone else, you know, so why shouldn't you?
I love applying for jobs. So many great options. Would I like to be paid poorly, or would I like to work for someone evil? Oh, cool. This one is both.
Oh gee, are you laughing or crying or both while having explosive diarrhea? Well, welcome to the job market, baby.
Someone I know had multiple interviews at her dream company, but she didn't get a job. So she did this. It is brilliant. She sent the hiring manager a $20 Starbucks gift card. With it, she included a note card that said, "I just wanted to thank you so much for considering me to your social media coordinator opening. I am still extremely interested in working for XYZ Incorporated, and when the next opening arises, the coffee is on on me so we can discuss it. How many people who that hiring manager's ever interviewed did this? 0. Think she'll be remembered when another opening arises? Yes! Wait, so it hasn't actually happened yet? This is an inspirational story about, you know, a gesture that actually hasn't come into fruition? What? You bet! Go the extra mile. Do things others don't. Stay continually on top of your mind. Be memorable.
I think there is a distinction between, you know, burning bridges for no other sake than burning bridges, which is usually a pretty bad idea. You know, to some extent at least, it's better to just move on and, you know, don't make a big fuss about it, at least in my experience. Sometimes it's worth burning bridges on rare occasion, but it's usually not worth it. It's better to just, like, be done with something and move on. But there is a difference. There is, like, a gray area between not burning bridges and just kissing butts. You know, you shouldn't need to suck up to someone just to be considered for a job. That seems kind of unprofessional in a way. Like, shouldn't it depend on your resume and if you're suitable for the role and they think that you're a good match for the team? Like this, I don't know. It's weird, man. I mean, don't get me wrong. I do hope they get the job, but I do hope they get it for the right reasons, not because, you know, some recruiter wants to be spoiled with coffee.
No one wants to work anymore!
No one wants to work for you anymore! Silly, silly. 1960s with high school diploma. Here's your job, which is totally capable of supporting a 5-person family and owning a home. 1960 with a college degree. Here's a giant bag of money and a cadre of people to jerk you off for the rest of your life. Congratulations. 2017 with 2 bachelor degrees and masters of trade and experience. You might have to just work at Walmart for a while. At least you don't live in Somalia or something. Here's an article by a baby boomer about why your generation is lazy.
It would be funny if it didn't hurt inside.
2017? Yeah, it hasn't got no. I think the biggest kick in the butt at the moment at my current age and stuff is just the housing market. It is atrocious, man. Why? Why? Can I just do what I did as a kid and just build a treehouse to live in? Is that still feasible? Can I do that? Please? Hi. My minimum to switch jobs will be around 90k per year. Best regards.
I'll pass this info to our recruitment department and will revert.
I assume that the salary range is lower then?
Dear Blorb, I'm here with the feedback. At the moment, the market salary range for this position is different. The market range for this role is around 60k. Would you be interested in considering the market salary range?
Hi, I am okay with 60% of my salary if the company is okay with working 60% of the hours. Best regards. Wait a second, so this is the recruiter that has reached out first, and they're like,
oh, if you really want this position, you have to settle for 50% less than your current salary, but they were the one who reached out for it?
That's not how it, I mean, reverse psychology only works in certain contexts, and this is probably not one of them. I saw a job post the other day. It required 4 years of experience in Fast API. I couldn't apply as I only have 1.5 years of experience since I created that thing. Maybe it's time to reevaluate that years of experience equals skill level. So you have literally put out a requirement for a job that you should have more experience in a tool than the tool has literally existed for. More than twice as long as the tool has literally existed for.
Yes, we require someone with 60 years of experience in Microsoft Excel.
She received a rejection email. She replied with a warm thank you note.
Really? Alright.
And then she received a job offer. Many people don't reply to a rejection email, but she wanted to make one last effort. So she said thank you again, reaffirmed her interest, and asked to be considered for other roles in small projects. A few days later, a spot opened up on a different team. The hiring manager reached out to her and offered her that role. It was her reply to the rejection that stood out. Sometimes rejection is redirection.
I mean, it has a certain point, right? If it's a company that is known to expand currently and they hire in multiple facets of the company, sure, you can be like, hi there, oh, too bad I didn't get this, but if something else comes up, feel free to reach out to me. That is perfectly reasonable. But like, thank you note for rejection, that's also strange. Like, the formulation is off. The principle in itself isn't completely alien, but come on, LinkedIn, come on.
A fast-paced environment means the job is actually 3 to 5 jobs, but it's so stimulating and innovative. You'll have to innovate ways how to not sleep, innovate ways how to go to the bathroom really fast. My bowel has never been more effective. Yay!
About you. Minimum requirements. Must be a fully established organization with at least 3+ years in business. Your organization is innovative and mission-driven. Oh, so this is like the complete reverse. Instead of being like, oh, here's what you have to do as a person, you must be innovative and a team player and humpty-dumpty and a butterfly. It's the other way around. Your company must be good. Prefer but not require. Hybrid or fully remote. You don't ghost candidates. Oh, you don't have a broken hiring process where it takes 6+ rounds of interviews before you make a decision. This is great. I think a lot of people read this and like get a sense of, I don't know. It's like on Tinder when people specify things that are indeed perhaps toxic, but it still kind of comes off as venting about things you don't like. I don't know. I like this, but I think it might send the wrong message even to people that are reasonable, if that makes sense. I understand where it's coming from, but it's kind of like, you know, oh, I don't want this, and I don't want a partner that cheats and did it. It still sounds like you're bitter about the last thing in a way. I don't know. I'm split on it. What do you think about it? I'm like, I'm torn in between. It's like in between, I like the message, but I'm uncertain about how it's received, if that makes sense.
I have never coded a single line of Ruby or Ruby on Rails, but recruiters won't stop scouting me as Ruby developer. The fact that the word Ruby is on my resume/portfolio doesn't mean I'm the right girl for you. My name is literally Ruby!
Note to self, do not name child HTML. Yes, my last client applied to almost 700 jobs this year. What? She landed only 8 interviews. She made it to the final round 4 times. She was rejected 2 times and ghosted once. She was ready to give up on the search and move back to her parents for financial support. Last week, she received a hiring offer and just started at her dream job. Never give up when looking for a job. Never. 700 though? I would say sure, in one way, it's nice that it had a happy ending, not gonna deny that, but it also sounds like a really, really long and bumpy road, a nasty road. I think highlighting that sounds like a really broken system, probably, might be something worth highlighting, you know? Uploads resume. Next, please fill in your employment history. But it's over here! I hate that so much. God, I hate it so much. Switching jobs every 1 to 3 years is the fastest way to increase your salary, especially early in your career. Why? Because hiring budgets are higher than raise/retention budgets. Yeah, and they also don't always put in the effort to increase salaries to match like inflation and match how the job market evolves. So typically an entry-level salary for a position increases gradually over the years, but that doesn't mean they account for that in people that have already worked there. So switching jobs can be very beneficial. That's what we were told actually when we were engineers, that in your first, for example, I think it was 3 to 4 times you switched jobs, that's when you had the biggest salary jumps. Then it started evening out a little bit as you got older, but especially early on in your career, huge bumps. Reality versus LinkedIn. Reality. I got my driving license. LinkedIn.
I am honored and thrilled to announce that I've been selected among the top 5 applicants who participated in the professional and most respected exam, which evaluates the skill and ability to operate fuel-based vehicles. I cannot wait to see what the next chapter holds, as I cannot express my appreciation to the Ministry of Transportation, Google, NASA, and my neighbors who supported me during this challenging journey.
You have to also say that you're really looking forward to taking on new challenges and seeing how it makes you grow as a person. That's very important. HR. What sort of perks would make your life better here? Higher salary, flexibility, more vacation?
Lemao!
Here are some potato chips and permission to wear jeans on Fridays. Woo! Casual Friday. Can we just have a casual Friday without pants at all? Then I would start considering that, but you know, otherwise, nah.
Hi Blorp, are you looking for a new role? Thanks!
Hi there, yes, I am still looking.
Are you able to work full-time? I'm recruiting for a permanent role in Blorp.
Yes, I am. Tell me more about the role.
I don't work with candidates, I lack politeness. Sorry for wasting your time.
Wait a second, so they reached out very casually in like a DM/text, and then they were upset that the person reciprocated in the same like short text format, and that was being rude towards the recruiter? But you initiated the conversation with this premise. What?
It is rude to discuss your salary.
No, it isn't. That's something companies made up so they could pay some of you less than others without getting mad. Discuss your salaries, find the discrepancies, demand more. The workers are on the same team. Yeah, having a group of peers that you compare stuff with is super valuable, super nice. Doesn't mean that you have to tell the world your salary. You know, you don't have to share so much personal information than you're comfortable with. But having at least a few peers to bounce it with, super valuable. Software engineer, recruiter, Your background looks perfect for this open or other company. When it can do a 10-hour take-home test and 6 rounds of interviews to see if it's a good fit. How about in 90 years, when I'm dead? Thank you.
Hey guys, just a thought, but how about instead of canceling celebrities for comments they made years ago, we start boycotting companies that want bachelor degrees and 3 to 5 years of experience for a $13 an hour entry-level job?
Yes. Yes. GAP Outlets. Hi, Blorb. Thank you for your interest in the seasonal sales associate position at GAP Outlets. We have reviewed your application. Unfortunately, you are not the right fit for the position at this time. I'm sorry for the disappointing news. Best of luck in your job search. Sincerely, Daniel. Dan? I have been working here for a month. Oh no, are you just like chain sending out emails to all the applicants and just blindly sending out to the mail address of everyone who wasn't approved like a month after the role was filled?
And then you also just send it to the person who actually got the job? Come on, that's so awkward.
If you reach the second interview round, we will ask you to arrange calls between our CEO and all your former bosses. Do you understand and agree to this?
Is there a third option? I understand, but I think this is absolutely ridiculous and I won't, you know, hook up people with my old bosses. What? I'm not a matchmaking service. I can give you the references if you like, but what kind of stuff is this? What?
There is literally no law that says you can't put your friends down as your references and pretend they were your boss at your old job. Literally, there is no law that says that.
Really? Oh my.
Fantastic. Let's do 11 a.m. Wednesday.
Hi Jess, are you going to call? I'm available until 11:30.
I am so sorry. I am working from home today and my internet has crashed, so what times are you available tomorrow?
Please take me off your list of this role. You had 3 opportunities to call me and didn't.
Okay, like I said, I do apologize for that, but I've had family issues and time off, so it hasn't been a priority for me.
I no longer trust your competency to manage an application in my name. Tip, don't tell candidates that they aren't a priority when your job is recruitment. This isn't even a person that works at the company yet. Great first impression. You know, one thing, if you tell a colleague like, hey, I'm down with the family, my kids are sick or something, understandable, right? That kind of stuff happens. But when you're supposed to be an example for the company in an interview process and you like turn them down 3 times over and then you give a bunch of excuses and very passive-aggressive apologies. Nah, fam. Nah. My client went through 7 rounds of interviews at a big tech company, but didn't get the role. The hiring manager's feedback was that she was too prepared. It's like when they say, oh, you can't get this job, you're overqualified. What do you mean? Isn't that a good thing?
Sorry, you were too good. We don't want perfect people here.
Cover letters are the most god-awful creation to ever touch society. They really are just ass. Nothing more, nothing less.
You! Hey, I want this job!
The job!
Beg for it.
Yeah, that's really what, yes. I feel that especially, you know, if you're trying to fill a really senior position that is supposed to be a very exact match and stuff, I mean, in that case, you would probably headhunt them anyway and, like, know about them in the first place, so it wouldn't really be applicable. But this also strikes me as odd in entry-level positions. Yes, I would love to write an essay about how I've always dreamed about working at this burger joint. Yay! Delta seeks volunteers to fill vacancies at airport lounges. What? Just come to the ATL airport for a few hours to help with cleaning, wiping tables, running food, restocking food buffets, etc. The company said in its message to employees. The employees won't receive any pay or compensation for helping out at the loyalty lounges. Wait, so you just want people with nothing better to do to just come in and do, like, janitor services and not even get paid? Are you trying to, like, get a bunch of Boy Scouts to do your work for you or something? This is really weird. What? Did you seriously think this through? Alright. Indeed! Congratulations, ready to show your skills? This place has invited you to complete 1 assessment for the dishwasher position you applied to. So you have to take a test? A little mini school? I think they're confused. I recently talked to a 25-year-old who made $50 million last year. Here are his 5 keys to success. Wake up at 6 a.m., read a book, work out twice a week, turn 25 and get $50 million trust fund from dad, drink a gallon of water every day. If you put in the work, anything is possible. It's basically on par with, like, win the lottery, fam. Once per year, every CEO should apply for a job at their own company under a different name to see how maddening the process is for candidates. That is so good. This reminds me, there must be some kind of movie plot. I feel like there's something on the tip of my tongue about this, but I can't figure out what it is. Maybe it's Squid Games. Like, because, a bit of a spoiler, but I guess everyone has seen it already. When like, the owner goes in and is a contestant himself, kind of, to get into the thing, but sort of like that. but trying to apply for your own job. I would, oh my god, that'd be kind of interesting to do though. If the company's big enough so people don't actually recognize the CEO, that's kind of neat. This is a good movie, fam.
This is definitely the most bizarre question I've ever seen on a job application.
You have been given an elephant. You can't give it away or sell it. What would you do with the elephant? Swedish meatballs? I mean, maybe it can live in my bathtub. That's kind of cute. This is based on the gifting of white elephants in ancient Thailand. If the king of ancient Thailand was displeased with you, he would give you a gift of a white elephant. It was considered a serious insult to reject a gift from the king, so the person would have to pretend to be thankful. However, since these elephants were considered sacred, the person couldn't force it to work or let it die. The elephant's albinism means that it would also have to be kept in the shade to protect it from getting sunburnt, so the person will be forced to feed and care for the white elephant for the rest of their life or face social ostracization for letting the sacred animal die. Oh, that's good. Yeah, so it's like a cursed gift, basically. I mean, that makes more sense. I'm not sure how it applies to the job interview, but kind of a cool story.
Poor judgment on your job-seeking strategy. We have never met. We have never worked together. You are quite young and green on how business connections work in senior professionals. Apparently, you've heard that I produce a job bank and decided it would be stunningly helpful for your career prospect if I shared my 960 LinkedIn connections with you. A total stranger who has nothing to offer me. Your invite to connect is inappropriate.
Wait, someone sent you a connect invite? Basically a friend invite on LinkedIn? And you went on a rant about it? Really? Is that professional? I don't know, fam.
It's inappropriate and beneficial only to you, and tacky. Wow! I cannot wait to let every 26-year-old job seeker of mine top-tier marketing connections to help him land a job. I love the sense of entitlement in your generation, and therefore I enjoy denying your invite and giving you the dreaded "I don't know" blurb because it's the truth.
Did you really talk about other people's entitlement? You know, if I'm gonna put your ego down a peg here, I don't think you're the only person they sent a connection invite to either. Just gonna be honest.
Oh, and about your request to actually receive my job bank along with the 7,300 other subscribers to my service, that's denied too. I suggest you join other job banks in town. Oh wait, there isn't one.
Oh, this you post this. Oh, this is gross.
You are welcome for your humility lesson of the year. Don't ever reach out to senior practitioners again and assume their carefully curated list of connections available to you just because you want to build your network. Don't ever write me again.
Man, we have found an arch Karen, haven't we? If you really were so big and like confident and sure about yourself and professional, you would just decline someone and go on with your day. You are the one making a big deal about it, which is the weirdest part. I decline people too, all the time when they try to connect on various things because I don't know them, or it looks kinda sus, or it looks spammy. There can be multiple reasons for declining an invite on any like social media or network website. You don't have to make it so incredibly personal and like ostracize them like this. It's really weird. That's pretty gross. I wonder what your beloved network would say if they saw this message. Yes, indeed. Required. We prize high-quality creative writing. Please write a short story of 4 to 5 or more sentences about a purple flying turtle as part of your application. Is this 10th grade writing class? What's going on? I can do 18 hours on a W-2 all-inclusive without any benefits at all, but that position is level 2 role. Please let me know your thoughts.
What does all-inclusive mean?
Means there will be no benefits, no paid leaves, no medical benefits. You will only get $18 an hour on W-2. But what do you mean all-inclusive? All-inclusive of nothing? Why do you formulate it like that? This hotel is all-inclusive except there is nothing. When employers want 10 years of experience before you turn 20. A title HTML for Bobby's title. Oh my god, that's how you do it? You want a little wunderkind. When the job market expects you to read about HTML before you've even learned to, like, read normally. Great. So my brother was telling me about this human resources certification he attended a while ago. In a panel, the panelists asked a bunch of people in attendance, who here knows if an applicant for a job is right for it in under 60 seconds? Hands shot up all around the room. People smug about their ability to weed out the riffraff when it came to hiring for their Fortune 500. You should all be fired and probably in jail, they said, waiting for the whole room to get uncomfortable. Then continued. Because the only things you can really learn about a human being in under 60 seconds are all the things that are fueled by prejudice and biases covered by American law. So now, I will teach you how to stop being a racist, sexist, judgmental a-hole and hire people that will better your company of employ. I need this to be force taught at all companies. This is a good example of why study after study after study has shown that discrimination against racialized people looking for work is very real. Oh, and don't get too smug if you're not in the USA. Similar studies have shown that the same shite happens in Canada, Germany, the UK, Sweden! No! Sweden! Oh, how could you? Basically in every country you can think of. Yeah, the world is gross, man. Oh my god. It sounds like a genuinely good seminar, though. I hope that becomes kind of normalized, and I love questions like that get people super excited and like sure about themselves to just turn it around and be like, oh, that's actually a bad thing. Got him! Well, laddies, lasses, and lassos, I do hope you enjoyed this video as much as I enjoyed having you here. And remember, emotional support team is available for limited time only. Check it out, link in the description. And I will see you in the very near future. Take care, you beautiful bean. Mwah. Is this a good idea? I'm pregnant. Oh.